Hello, hello. This is Patty Joe, and we, I believe, are on day 6. Okay, let's see how close I got this queued up. Their sound's not on yet. While we're waiting for them to turn on the sound. Oh, you have such a pretty name. I am too funny when I talk about the continent and its airline. And the island that's floating to the front. Yeah, girl. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Totally. Totally. I'm gonna have to.
Witnesses that they do not have to report at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and that we will update them probably Friday afternoon as to a date and time to appear.
All right, thank you. Any objection to that procedure, sir?
No objection. Just wanted to state that those subpoenas were filled out,
Okay,
as you know, by your assistants. State that for the record.
I want to get what they're
Brooks,
saying about these
is
subpoenas.
present in person in custody. He
Oh,
is wearing
good.
street clothes. He's wearing a suit and tie. He's also...
So we basically missed his third-party intervener thing. I'm not going to try to get it back on that. But I do want to hear what they're saying about the subpoenas that he filled out, because this is where he starts, really escalating and saying there's no fear, and he wants to have this, wild moment of like everything he's doing is secret. But if you're having them do your subpoenas, they know who. And besides, all your witnesses were picked off of their people that they decided not to call list. Ugh, God.
wearing a mask.
So the
All
third-party
right. We
intervener,
are
Darrell.
starting a little bit early today, given the extended break we had yesterday. Anything the parties wish to take up prior to the jury coming out from the state?
Just one thing, Your Honor. For the record, we have served all of the subpoenas for Mr. Brooks at his request. The subpoenas had indicated a report date and time of tomorrow, which would be October 14th at 8 a.m. Given where we are in the case, we do not believe that we will have rested the state's case by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We believe we're probably on track to rest sometime on Monday at this point. So with the court's permission, we would like to advise those witnesses that they do not have to report at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and that we will update them probably Friday afternoon as to a date and time to appear.
All right, thank you. Any objection to that procedure, sir?
No objection. Just wanted to state that those subpoenas were filled out, as you know, by your assistants, that they should have been filed with the date of the 14th at 8:30 a.m. So just wanted to state that for the record. And also, again, I do not consent or agree to being called that name.
Your lack of consent is noted. I would note, though, you've not provided me with a different name. Number one.
What? She did it. I did remember that she did it. She did it. Okay. Well, you keep stating this objection. Here's a good opportunity for us to completely make fun of you. What do you want us to call you?
Number
Stupid.
2, every inmate communication form has the name Darrell Brooks Jr.
Ooh.
So I like to refer to the defendants by their name, frankly, out of respect for them, to not continually use defendant over and over again. Not that that would be improper, it's just a practice. So I'm going to still keep referring to you as Mr. Brooks. I know you as Mr. Brooks. Again, you've filed all
This is a practice of somebody with manners, Judge. He doesn't understand manners.
sorts of inmate communication forms with that name. You've never given me another name for which to call you. So I just want you to know that's not a disrespectful thing. It's out of respect for these proceedings. But at times I'll still refer to you as the defendant.
No disrespect taken whatsoever, Your Honor. And for the record,
For the record,
I still would
for the broken record,
not consent to that name or agree to that name.
okay.
All right.
No respect, no disrespect taken whatsoever.
So the question still stands. You've not given her another name to call you by. Trash goblin? Icky little man? I mean, what? What?
Your position is noted. All right, do you have any documents to file today, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right, if you could hand that to the bailiff.
Just very brief things I would like to put on the record.
I'll have the bailiff first show it to the state, as that is proper, and then it'll come to me.
Oh, is it the subpoena for the state of Wisconsin? Did he do it? She's laughing. She's laughing. She's totally laughing at him. This man is deadpan serious about this.
Let the record to reflect I have received a document
Oh
that has
my
a
God.
caption for this case, a heading that says bond, then 2 short paragraphs, and then
Oh, it's not that.
a
Okay.
signature at the bottom with the name Darrell Edward Brooks Jr., authorized representative of Darrell E. Brooks, all rights reserved. I've reviewed it, sir. I would note it will be made part of the file. You do not reference any law as it relates to this request,
Or
what I would
relief.
deem a request. There's no constitutional provision, statutory provision, or common law associated with this. I'm not sure what you're asking me to do with it as well. I don't see a clear request for relief as well.
There you
So,
go.
it
Okay.
will be filed, but I don't.
So now I've learned that when you make a motion, you have to say what it is you're saying. You have to reference it to a law of some sort. And then you have to ask for relief, what you want them to do about it. This isn't fair because of this. This is the law I'm referencing, the statute that I'm referencing. And I would like for, this to happen. It's not fair that I don't weigh what it says on my driver's license. It's supposed to weigh, the weight is supposed to be the same, and I want gravity to be established on this planet so that my weight matches what I say. that's a good one. I think I got it though, right?
I'm not going to pass it any further. Do you want a copy of that for your records, sir?
Yes, I do. The
Yes, I do.
time-stamped original copy. if I may.
Timestamps, original cut.
And also, to my knowledge, the filing is proper,
So,
unless Your Honor can
explain to me the
provide
law.
verified law of your own that is not a proper document. I think it's very clear what the document is referring to. The language is all together.
What?
It's a very, very clear document in its entirety. And
Mr. Brooks, I would direct your attention to section 802.01, which governs motions, how made.
So, in other words, she just literally schooled him enough for me to understand how to file a motion. He then says, the entire thing is clear the way I wrote it, unless you can tell me otherwise. So now she's going to then reference the books that she has allowed him to use of her own, by the way.
And the form,
I don't
that
know.
document
I got
does not
nothing.
comply with that. As far as receiving a timestamp, we have a date stamp. It will be scanned, and it will be then uploaded into the file. I would just note for the record, it's now 8:07, and I've had that for a couple of minutes now, but that's, we don't have a timestamp in the courtroom here.
what was the law that you cited?
I draw your attention to section 802.01, which is the statute related to motions.
And does that refer specifically to that filing?
It refers to any request that's made to a judge or in a court of law. Could, I suppose, go to a court commissioner, but that's not where we're at in these proceedings. That, to me, does not provide a legal or factual basis for the request that you're making. So that's how I will address it.
For the record, I believe it does, Your Honor. It was presented in the same fashion that all my motions in this court have been presented, and you never cited the same thing with the other filings. So
But she's also
that's
said they're
leading
all
me to believe
BS.
that.
But she's also said every single one of your other filings is a bunch of mess too. So
It's just that document that's not being accepted when I have the other timestamp
Oh, no, she
filings for
accepted
the
it.
same documents that I filed. Every other document is filed in the same manner. Every last one of them, and no exception with that one, Your Honor.
I understand my obligations with individuals who are representing themselves to review their pleadings and to construe them liberally. However, you were notified the other day that future requests needed to comply with section 802.01. Even with a liberal reading of that document, I'm not sure what it is you're asking me. It's not going to prevent this court from proceeding forward and continuing on with the trial, and
believe I know what he asked for.
the jury brought in and the next witness called.
For the record, Your Honor, can you state why? Because it's clear what this is referring to. It's referring to why there's no bond mentioned or stated in the court document, the docket sheet. There's no bond in any of these writings. Not one time does it mention it, and so that was what this was referring to.
I understand what it's referring to, sir.
also-
There's no legal basis for
Also,
your
for the record-
argument.
Also,
So
for the record, this docket is not a certified copy, which is what I requested.
I do not control the clerk's office. You need to make a specific request to the custodian of the court record, which is the clerk of court, for a certified copy.
I did
that
that,
can't
Your
be
Honor.
done here in this courtroom. You have to do that through an inmate communication form.
That's what I did, Your Honor. the ICF should be on record that I specifically requested a certified copy.
Sir, I'm not in charge of that, so I'm not going to address that any further. So my understanding is a certified copy was provided to you.
This is not the certified copy that I'm holding, Your Honor. I know how a
Again, you
certified
can
copy
take that
is.
up with the clerk of court. That is beyond the scope of what I am addressing here. I am not the custodian of the record. I would not be the judge to address any concerns that you have if you believe your request was not complied with.
It clearly wasn't, because this
I'm
is
not the
a-
person to do that, sir. It's not the proper venue in this case or forum. All right, the custodian of the record needs to reply to that. That is our clerk of court. If you believe she did not do that, then you have recourse available to you, but it's not through this case. So with that, I'm going to move on. Let's have the jury brought out.
I was not provided with exactly what I asked for. If I'm told by the court to submit an ICF for any requesting, and I requested specifically a certified copy of the docket sheet and was not provided with what I specifically asked for, then
Sir,
how?
I can't address that any further. So
I
again,
would like
you need
that
to take
stated.
that up with the clerk of court, and you can communicate directly with her office.
Can
But I'm
I
not
be-
going to do it through this court proceeding.
I would like that stated for the record, that I did not receive what I specifically asked for, and I'm sure that the ICF is on record. I can get.
Mr. Brooks, for the record, we're on the record. And so
Okay.
everything that we're saying is on the record. So it's noted. Bring the jury out, please.
Also, I had one more thing I wanted to state for the record,
Go ahead.
which was also submitted via inmate communication form. So that should be on the record, and it should be filed. I know it should have been received by now. It was addressed to Miss Monica Paz, and it was asking for the complaint that was filed. It was 3 different complaints, and they're found in the docket sheet. One from 11/23 of 2021, one from 11/29.
My bet is that they're all in these boxes here. I imagine that the attorneys who threw a party after he dismissed them made sure that every single piece of paper, which would have included all of those complaints and all of those documents, got sent over to that jail, right to this guy who hasn't looked at all in this. He looks inside one box that's got all the files with the witnesses stuff in it. That's it.
Of 2021, which would be the amended complaint, and then one from January 12 of 2022, which would be the second amended complaint. I specifically asked for copies of those to be provided, as they were not in any discovery.
Go back out, Teresa.
Hold on 1 second, okay? Sorry.
Mr. Brooks, I am not going to answer for Clerk of Court Paz. She is the custodian of the record. All right. So you're going to have to communicate directly with her. If you're looking for just copies, I'm happy to print those off for you. I've already provided some of those things to you. I hear you saying you want certified copies. That would not be provided by me. Are you looking for certified copies or just copies?
Certified copies.
All right, then that will have to be addressed by Clerk of Court Paz.
So how would I do that? Because
I can't, sir,
Is it
I've already
through-
told you need to make the request to her. That's how I have to leave it, sir. I'm not the custodian of the record, so.
I addressed it that way, Your Honor. I addressed it the way I was told to address it from
My
the court.
understanding is it went to her. So with that, let's have the jury brought out. Your position's noted.
Your Honor, can we address the subject matter jurisdiction before the jury comes out? The jury comes out?
We've already done it.
And is that a judicial determination that you're making, not to address the subject matter jurisdiction, which has yet to be proven at this point? It has not been
Mr. Brooks,
verified?
please, the jury's coming out. I know what you're doing, but I've already addressed that.
So is that a judicial determination that you're making?
My decision on the record stands, sir.
And I would like the record to reflect that you have not shown verified proof of subject matter jurisdiction whatsoever. And that by refusing to answer, that is a tacit agreement by you, Your Honor, which you understand what that means. I know you do.
Mr. Brooks, I have not entered into any such agreement, and because the jury is out and you are claiming that there's some issue, I'm going to take this up later, but I will entertain a request from the state for a curative jury instruction. All right, thank you, everyone. You may be seated, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. We are proceeding with this trial, and the state may call its next witness.
And Your Honor, before the state calls the next witness, I just want to let the record reflect that I did put Exhibit 54 on the witness stand, and it will be introduced through the next witness, who is Laura Thien.
All right, thank you. Good morning, Ms. Thien. If you would please make your way to my witness stand, which is all the way up by me. It is up one riser. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, will swear you in. Mm-hmm.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth?
Oh, Lord.
And nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Oh, Lord.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, this fine lady, who is going to be one of the best witnesses ever, was part of the Dancing Grannies, who tragically lost several of their members to Darrell Brooks' actions. She is poised. She is kind. She is everything that I wish I could be, and I'm not. And this is going to be so hard because we're going to want to defend her against the trash goblin. Our icky little man with the island of hairline there. So, come on, ma'am.
Please be seated.
We're all behind you.
First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Laura, Laura, Thien, Thein.
Thank you. And sorry I put an M on that previously. All right, go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Good morning, Mrs. Thien. How are you today?
Very good.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to direct your attention to November 21st, 2021. Were you at the City of Waukesha Christmas Parade on that day?
Yes.
Were you there as a spectator?
No, I was in the parade. I was in one of the units.
Okay. And which group were you with?
The Milwaukee Dancing Grannies.
How long were you with the Milwaukee Dancing Grannies?
How long?
Yes.
8 years.
Okay. And how would you describe, first of all, how many people at that time were in the Dancing Grannies approximately?
There were 9 of us in the parade.
Could you describe, were you guys friends, close? Did you see each other often?
We were like sisters. We were a sisterhood.
Did you meet regularly for practices?
Every week.
Okay. Without fail, pretty much?
And we had some social outings, and then we've seen each other again every weekend for a parade.
So would it be fair to say that the 9 people that were at the parade on November 21st, you knew pretty well?
Very well.
Is it normal for the Dancing Grannies to be part of parades?
Oh, yes. We do lots of parades. We do about 21 of them in summer and about 5 to 6 in winter.
Okay. Did you talked about practices. Did you have certain numbers that you did for example, for the Christmas parade this past year in November?
Yes, we do Christmas routines and for the holidays, and then we do different type of routines for summer.
Okay. In November, would you have a pretty standard formation that you would keep to do each of your routines during the parade?
Yes.
Did you have uniforms?
Yes, we did.
Can you describe them for the jury?
Objection, relevant.
Overruled, you may answer.
Grounds for
They were long skirts with white fur. They were blue with white fur on the bottom. Blue jackets with white fur for cuffs and around the neck, and a white fur hat.
Did you have, I'm assuming if you were dancing to music, that you had something that played the music?
Yes, we have a music vehicle.
Where would that music vehicle be in relationship to the group who was performing?
Right behind the group.
Oh, hold on, there's been an objection. It's noted, it's overruled, her answer may stand. Just in the future, if there is an objection, wait until I've ruled on it and then answer if I say overruled, okay?
Okay.
Now, anybody else who's going to be objecting to some of these questions would see that this lady needs you to say it loudly and firmly so that, because she's concentrating on who she's listening to. She may not have a huge deficit in her hearing, but as we get older, we need for people to slow down a little bit. I've noticed this already, and I think I'm a bit younger than she is, but Darrell's not going to do this. He's going to horse around.
Thank you.
overruled.
Relevant.
Grounds for the relevancy.
It's relevant.
Thank you. So did you
She's
also have people
annoyed.
walking with the performers in the parade to give support?
Yes, we have volunteers. We have 2 volunteers that carry the banner and a volunteer that will give us ice chips in case we get.
Do you recall who were the 2 volunteers who were carrying the banner that day?
Yes, there was our usual banner carrier, a young girl, Allie, and then at the last minute, the gal didn't show up because we have 2 for the banner. She didn't show up, so Ginny, at the last minute, decided to be the other banner carrier.
Now when you say Ginny, are you referring to Virginia Sorensen?
Yes,
And you knew her as Ginny?
yes,
Okay, and you said there's also another support person who carried ice chips.
yes.
Do you know who that was last year?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled, you may answer.
Grounds for the overrule.
I should have.
You can answer.
Okay, yes,
Grounds for the
Bill,
overrule.
one of our dancing granny's husbands.
Is that Wilhelm Hospital? Is that his full name?
Yes.
Thank you. Now I have before you a document that's marked States Exhibit 54.
Okay.
Do you see that in front of you?
Yes, that's pretty much our group.
Okay. So it consists of 9 different, it looks, why don't you describe for the jury exactly what's in front of you?
Objection.
Overruled.
Grounds.
You may answer.
It's relevant.
Okay, we have 9
That is judicial
people that were in the parade. And when there are,
He's so rude. He's so rude. He doesn't. He's trying to shake her up. He's trying to shake this nice lady up. Ugh, he's so disgusting, despicable.
an uneven number, there is somebody who is in the slot.
Okay.
And it was my turn to be in the slot. So,
Okay. So on the top of the sheet, and I have a copy in front of me, so if we're going from the top down, we have the names, it says banner, and then on the left-hand side as I'm looking at that, it's Ginny Sorensen and Allie, is that correct?
yes.
And I'm going to actually ask that this be published also for the jury and admitted into evidence.
Objection. And we have yet to see what's being talked about being shown.
Does Mr.
It's up now.
Brooks have a copy?
I believe it's up in front of him now.
All right, give him a minute to look at it.
Objection. I do not consent to being called that name, nor do I agree to being called that name.
Right, the record should reflect that the Exhibit 54 is being displayed on the monitors at the present time to the parties, to the court, and to the witness. There's been an offer or a request by the state that the court receive the exhibit based upon the testimony of this witness. Exhibit 54 is received, permission to publish is granted.
Objection.
Noted, overruled.
On what grounds?
Mr. Brooks, I'm not going to be specifically addressing, so please respect that.
I respectfully request a legal reconsideration of your ruling.
Mr. Brooks, now is not the time for that. The objection has been overruled. I expect that you will honor that, and we will continue without interruption. Go ahead.
I do honor it, Your Honor. For the record, may I respectfully reject that ruling and take exception to that ruling.
Keep going.
Thank you. So in the upper left-hand corner, the name Ginny Sorensen. In the middle, it says banner, and then Allie. Ginny was Virginia Sorensen. She was carrying the banner with Allie, correct?
Yes.
And they would be in the front as the group is going down the parade route?
Yes.
And the 9 people who are listed in the boxes following or behind the banner, does that accurately reflect the lineup that you had on November 21st of last year?
Yes.
Okay.
Overruled. Her answer may stand.
Your Honor, I'm now going to show the witness exhibit 53, just the witness only.
Go ahead.
And let me know when you see it up on your screen.
It's done.
Okay. I'm going to show you a couple seconds of it. I'm just going to ask you if this accurately depicts your group on November 21st of last year. So I'm going to play a couple seconds. It's starting at 00, and let's play it for 5 seconds.
This is my group coming up.
Okay. And does that accurately reflect how your group on November 21st of last year? Okay.
Sorry, you were shaking your head. Yes. Is that a yes?
Yes, that's how it was.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said that out loud.
It's okay.
That's okay.
That's what I'm here
She's
for,
more
make sure the
cookie.
record's clear.
Like her.
Okay.
I would ask the court to admit this exhibit 53 into evidence and publish it for the jury.
Objection.
Overruled. Exhibit 53 is received, permission to publish is granted.
Grounds for the overrule.
Ma'am, I'm going to...
You know, the fact that he doesn't even bother to look up just also confirms that he's just trying to interrupt and disrupt.
I'm going to play it straight through, and then we'll go back and go through it and pause it occasionally for you to identify everyone, okay?
Grounds for the overrule, Your Honor.
The state may continue.
All right, is that a legal determination that you don't have to give me the grounds for the overrule, as I have objected on the
Mr.
record?
Brooks, stop interrupting. I've made my ruling. Let's keep going. Go ahead.
Thank you.
I ask for a written judicial finding of facts and conclusion of law, or is that a tactic agreement, Your Honor?
So
Your Honor,
obvious.
just for the record, this is 1 minute and 27 seconds left.
Look at what you did, despicable. Yep, there you go.
Bam, that was the routine at the beginning of the parade, it looks like? Is that
Yes.
correct? And will you be able to identify each of the people if I go through the exhibit and kind of pause it occasionally for you to tell us who they are and a little bit about them?
Objection, hearsay.
Thank you.
Overruled.
Grounds for the overrule.
Not hearsay.
Go ahead. Okay, so I'd ask that we begin playing it without sound at 00. If we can pause it. Again, can you circle Virginia Sorensen on the screen? The screen in front of you is touch.
Okay. This is Ginny.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about Ginny?
Ginny was our glue. She held the group together. She was in the group the longest. And I think she was in the group for close to 20 years. So she was in there for a long time. She was close to everybody. Like I say, we were like sisters. And if you had a problem, she would always ask you about it, talk to you about it. Ginny was always there.
Okay. If we can continue on, it stopped, I'm sorry, at 1 second. If we can continue on from 1 second. If we can pause it.
Okay, and now that's Lee and Sharon.
Okay, so who is on, as we're looking at this video, who's on the right side?
The right side would be Sharon. Lee is on the left. She was right behind Ginny.
And I'm just going to direct you to Exhibit 54.
I'm
That's in
sorry.
front of you.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I misunderstood. When you say the left side of the street was where Lee Owen was, or the left side of the picture as you're looking at your screen?
Lee was on the left, right behind Ginny.
Miss Bean,
Oops.
it's okay. There's been an objection. It's overruled, but I would caution the state about leaving the witness.
Okay.
Go ahead. You may answer.
Okay, so
Okay.
right behind Ginny was Lee Owen.
Yes.
Is her full name Leanna Owen?
Lee was
Overruled.
very close to Ginny. They worked together a lot for the group, and she taught a lot for the new people that were coming in. She was more or less the leader to teach them the routines.
She's gonna make me cry. This lady is having so much trouble talking about her good friends that are no longer with her because of the actions of Darrell Brooks. It is disgusting that he keeps interrupting her. I am having so much trouble not crying.
And I rode with Ginny to not Ginny, but Lee. I rode with her to every practice. We rode together. So we were quite close too.
Okay. And next to Lee, you stated according to Exhibit 54, that would be Sharon Millard.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to focus on the people that were injured during the parade, okay? So next, if we can continue on, we stopped
Before you move on, can you tell me where that was paused?
in 11 seconds.
Thank you.
If you continue on from 11 seconds. And pause. The state has paused at 21 seconds.
Okay.
There's a woman who seems to be between, in back of Lee and Sharon. Do you recognize that person?
That would be Betty.
And do you know Betty's last name?
Betty String.
Okay. And did you know her very well?
She was fairly new. She was only in the group for a couple of years.
Okay.
And so, but we knew each other quite well.
Would she go out on the events with you and you do social events?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I think I said it, I stopped at 21 seconds. If we can continue on. If we can pause it. The state has paused at 28 seconds. Behind Betty, there are two women who are in the forefront of the video that stopped. The person that would be dancing on the left-hand side of the street as you're walking down the street, do you know who that is?
That would be Kathy Schmeling. This was her first parade.
Okay. Can you circle her where she's standing on the screen?
Okay, if I go the way she's going, on the right side or left?
Circle who you think is Kathy Schmeling.
Okay. Kathy would be on the, on the right. She would be right there.
Okay. And you said the other person was who?
Lola
Okay. Can you circle Lola?
Hospel. She is the wife of Bill that was hit.
Okay.
Objection, that wasn't the question.
Noted, it's overruled. Her answer may stand.
Shut up. None of this is helping you look good for the jury. It's going to be, yes, it's devastating to you, but that's only because you hit and killed these people. You hit and killed them, Darrell. Being rude to this old lady is not going to help you look better.
Next question.
Grounds?
And you stated that Wilhelm or Bill was a support person that was marching the parade that day.
Yes.
What did you know about Lola?
Lola was the mother figure. She was, I think, the oldest in the grannies. And she was rather on the quiet side, but she was just friendly with everyone.
Okay. Was she in the grannies when you joined 8 years?
Oh, yes, she was in quite a long time, similar to Ginny.
Okay. So continuing on from 28 seconds, I'd ask that we continue playing it.
Something that she did all those years, and now her husband's gone.
If we can pause. The state paused at 34 seconds. Can you identify the person who is behind Lola and Kathy in the video?
Yeah, she would be in the middle. That is.
Hold on. There's been an objection. It's overruled.
Grounds?
She may answer.
Grounds?
That's Tamara. Rosentier. It's hard to pronounce her name, but Rosentier.
Rosentreater? Did that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you circle her on the screen?
Okay, that's her right there.
Okay. And what can you tell us about Ms. Rosentreater?
She was, I would say, about 5 years into the group, 4 to 5 years. And fun person, very friendly. All of us are very friendly.
Okay. You seem like you might be.
Yeah.
Okay, if we can clear the screen and continue from 34 seconds. And if we can pause the screen here.
Okay.
Okay, the next two people are behind Ms. Rosentreater.
Tamara, yeah.
And can you identify those people?
Yes. This is Tamara Duran.
So you had two Tamaras on your team?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And 2 Kathys, too. but-
Okay.
And this is Kathy
Is that
Zar-
Zartek?
Zartek,
Leading
or
the
something
witness.
like that.
Hold on. There has been an objection.
Okay.
I'll sustain the objection on leading grounds. Her answer may stand, but I would again caution the state to.
And I would just note for the record, Exhibit 54 is in front of this witness, and it does have the first and last names, and she's already said that it accurately reflects the people who are marching with the Dancing Grannies on November 21st of last year.
That was not the question. It was leading.
Understood.
It was already sustained.
For purposes of identification, though, I'm going to instruct her to turn the Exhibit 54 over to make sure that her testimony today is from her recollection and not from reading from a form. So if you could turn that over, please. The paper document that you have. There you go. Thank you. Go ahead.
Now you circled, can you circle Tamara Durand again, Tamara?
Okay, this is Tamara Duran.
Okay.
This would be Kathy Z.
Okay. Direct your attention to Miss Durand. Can you tell us a little bit about her?
I'm sorry.
Directing your attention to Miss Durand, can you tell us a little bit about her?
She was new, and this again was her first parade.
Oh my God.
She was so excited about being a granny because she had worked for months and months to learn all the routines. And when she knew she would be in that Christmas parade, she was so excited. She just couldn't wait. So she was looking forward to doing all the parades. That was the first and last parade she ever did.
Okay,
If we can clear the screen.
I gotta stop it. Just gonna give everybody a minute.
And continue on with the video from 42 seconds.
First and last parade. Look at how happy she is.
If we can pause it. Last but not least,
That
hopefully
would
you
be
get this
me.
one. Okay, that's you.
That's me.
Okay, if you can circle you on the diagram, I think there's only one person in it. And you said you've been with the Dancing Grannies for 8 years, correct?
Yes.
Okay, if we can clear this, and I stopped it at 1 minute and 9 seconds. If we can continue forward. I'm going to pause.
That's the music vehicle.
Who drove that
She's
vehicle on
answering
that day?
before it's even.
Pardon?
Who drove the vehicle on that day?
My husband.
Okay. And you see a figure entering into the screenshot. Do you know who that is?
This would be Bill.
Okay. Thank you. And that's Bill Wilhelm.
Pardon?
Do you know the last name?
It's been rephrased.
Hospital.
Okay.
That would be Bill Hospital.
Okay. And do you recall him wearing a hat that day, as shown in the picture?
Objection, leading the witness.
Overrule.
Grounds.
Relevance. You may answer.
Okay. Bill was just walking up behind Tamara Duran and going to be offering
Ms. Dean,
her some ice.
I'm not sure you heard the question. If the state could re-ask it.
Certainly. In looking at the picture, was Mr. Hospital wearing a hat that day?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. And during pretty much the entire route of the parade, was he usually in back of you or in front of your position?
He's on the side of us.
Okay. And usually on the side that he's on right now?
Sometimes he would be on the other. It just depended how many people we had to give ice on any particular parade.
Okay. And was it cold that day? Do you remember?
Yes, it was pretty cold.
Okay. I did stop the video at 1 minute and 20 seconds. And
the ice is going to be, of course, for rehydration. The older people would want to, rehydrate. Safer to do it with ice than probably little ice chips, not cubes, but ice chips, so that if they're trying to swallow water while they're dancing, they could choke on it. If it's a cube, they could choke on it, but if it's a chip, likely their mouth will warm it up before they can have a problem. So, excellent. Smart.
I'm done with this exhibit. At some point during the parade, did you hear, strike that, Were you always, with the formation that you've testified about, were you always the last dancer in the formation?
No,
On November 21st, 2021, were you the last dancer in the formation throughout that parade route?
for this parade I was.
Okay.
We took, if there's an even number, nobody is in the slot. But if there's an odd number, there was no partner, so we just would take turns. Each different person at each different parade would be in the slot.
So at some point, did you hear something unusual behind you during the parade?
No, because the music vehicle was right behind me.
Did you at any time turn around and see something unusual?
Yeah, as we were going and I was dancing, when I would turn I seen a streak of red coming on my right side.
How fast was that streak of red going?
It was going pretty fast.
Hold on. The objection's noted, it's overruled, her answer may stand.
Grounds for the overrule.
Relevance.
So your answer stands, which you said it was going pretty fast?
Yes, it just like whizzed past me. It
Whizzed.
wasn't just going slow.
As it was going past you, who was in the area prior to it going past you on, and I'm assuming you lifted your right arm, was that on your right side as you were marching down Main Street?
Yes.
Okay. Who was in that area prior to that red streak coming through?
Kitty corner for me, that would be Bill and Tamara Darrell.
Did you get the opportunity to see what that red streak was?
Yeah, and shortly, in a few seconds later, the red vehicle was right in front of me, going down the center of, to me, just pointing to the center of the parade route.
So right in front of you.
Yes.
How close did that red streak come to you?
I would say a few feet. He had to go around the car, the music vehicle.
Okay.
And then
So she's super lucky that she was in what she called that slot, that one extra person who didn't have a partner. Otherwise, somebody else might have been hit too. So as Darrell comes around their music vehicle, she's lucky enough to be missed. I don't know if I can take this.
the right on the right side, and that's when Bill and Tamara were hit.
So when you were in front, in the back of the parade lineup, how far were you directly in front of the music car?
Several feet.
And the red vehicle that you've identified, it went to the right of
It
the
came
music car?
from the right side, yes.
And you stated it hit Bill and Tamara, correct?
Tomorrow.
They were the first ones, because they were just kitty corner from me, several feet.
Then where did it go? This vehicle.
Then I noticed, I didn't see them get hit, because it all happened so quick that I was still dancing, and all of a sudden I seen the red car in front of me, and I screamed either in my head or out loud, I don't know which, but I said, "What is he doing? Where's he going?" And I just screamed it because it was so unusual, and I knew if he was going down the center of the parade route, he was going to be hurting a lot of people. And he wasn't going slow. He was going at a good clip.
Did, from the time that you saw the red vehicle on your right,
We are going to be getting one of Darrell Brooks's iconic legal arguments. Yeah. He. Because she has referred to the driver as he several times. I can't wait till he does it, because he just makes an idiot out of himself. He.
striking Bill
Oh, I can't wait.
and Tamara, did you see it slow down at all?
Did I what?
See the vehicle slow down?
No, it just hit them, and as he was coming in, he started then going toward the middle, where he hit two more people, and then veered to the left and killed two more.
You said it was a red vehicle. Did you get a general description of the vehicle? What type of car? Was it a car, a sedan, a pickup truck? And
No, it was like a SUV or something. It wasn't just a car. It was a van or, something on that order, SUV.
so as the vehicle went through, did it stop after it struck? I think you said it
All
struck
your
the people in the
friends.
front. Who were the people that you just testified to that died?
Objection, leading the witness.
Overruled.
Grounds.
He came from the right, hit two.
Oh, one moment.
Whoops.
Sorry.
Was not leading. Go ahead, you may answer.
It came from the right, hit two people, and then veered toward the middle. And that's when I really seen him. And then hit two more people, veered to the left, and hit two more.
And the last two people that were struck, do you know who those people were?
Yes, I believe they were Ginny and Lee.
And you testify that both of those people died as a result of being struck?
They were killed instantly. And because the car came from the back, oops,
That's okay. There's not a question. Wait till the question is asked.
okay.
After the car struck Ginny, and she would have been in the front of the parade still carrying the banner, is that correct?
Yes, she was on the far left, right in front of Ginny.
After that occurred, did you see the vehicle stop?
No,
Vehicle kept going?
yes.
Did you see the path of travel it took after it struck Ginny?
Well, after it struck Ginny, it was sort of on the left side of the street, and it just kept barreling through.
I'm going to bring up Exhibit 54 again.
Go ahead.
And I'd ask that be published to the jury. It's previously been admitted as evidence.
Go ahead.
Objection. What's the relevancy of the video?
It's Exhibit 54. The court's already admitted it. It is shown to the jury. Go ahead.
Ma'am, can you, when the car went through, can you approximate where Bill was on this chart? You can put an X where you think he was.
Bill was about
Objection.
here.
I thought the sheet wasn't being shown.
Um,
You specifically made a ruling for the sheet to be turned over.
that was during her testimony. She's now being asked to annotate the exhibit. So it's proper. Your objection's noted. It's overruled. Go ahead.
Thank you. Can you show the jury using this chart, and maybe you just using a line, the path that the red vehicle took?
It struck there, hit Tamara, Betty, Lee, and then Ginny.
Thank you. If we can take a screenshot of that, and it would be State's Exhibit 54A, I believe. And you stated after it struck your group, it continued going in the left-hand
Yes.
side? Do you know what group was in front of you?
What was in?
I'm sorry, do you know what parade group was in front of the dancing grannies? And if you don't remember, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not real sure.
That's fine.
For the record, the court did capture the annotation and marked it as 54A.
Yeah. That's where he
After
should
the
have
vehicle
objected.
went by, what did you do?
That was pretty treacherous to his
After
case.
when I noticed that vehicle in front of me, and then it went toward the left and continued going down, it all happened in a matter of seconds. And after the car kept going, I looked on the road, and all I seen were bodies. I thought I was in a war because there were just so many, and I just went into shock, and I just grabbed my jacket like this and went to each body to see who it was and if I could help.
You said that you grabbed your jacket. You held both sides of your jacket up to your neck area. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, I think I
Relevancy.
needed.
Hold on. The objection's noted, it's overruled. Her answer and the description provided for the record by Attorney Basie, I would note, was accurate. You may continue.
Grounds for the overrule.
Already noted. Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
So you said that you were in shock.
I just went into shock seeing the bodies. I needed to hold on to something, I think. So I just grabbed this and just went from body to body. And then the people were running into the road with blankets, and anybody that was in the medical group quick came and were helping the people that were laying in the road to see if they could help.
The people that you saw laying in the road, were all of those people from your group?
Objection,
Yes.
hearsay.
Overruled, not hearsay. Just a reminder, once again, let me rule on the objection before you answer. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
She's doing a good job. You're doing a good
Walk
job.
us through who you went up to and what you observed after you said you started going to each of the bodies to check and see if you could help.
Like I say, the people from the sidewalk, they just ran into the road to help.
Spectators?
Spectators from the sidewalk, yes. They were wonderful to try to help, bringing blankets to cover the people, to keep them warm. Then there was someone from I think it was the tavern, the bar right there, and someone came out and had us, kind of corralled us, me, Sharon, and Kathy, into the tavern to give us some warm coffee or something to drink. But I couldn't stay in there. I had to be out there, and I had to know what was going on and how badly anybody was hurt.
So when you came out, who did you go up to?
Then I went back. I was on the road again, and just looking who was being helped and who was not quite being helped yet, and how badly they were hurt. I could not even find Tamara and Lee.
Okay. And when you say Tamara Durand or Tamara Rosentreater?
Durand.
Okay. So you couldn't find Tamara or Lee Owen?
No, say it out loud, babe. Say it out loud.
Did you hear her ask, was that Lee Owen?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the two of them I couldn't find. The rest of the people were accounted for, but I didn't know where they were, so when they were hit, they went flying on the sidewalk.
Okay. So,
And that's why I didn't see them on the road.
okay. You said yourself, Kathy Zadarsdek, Kathy Schmaling, the three of you went into the bar initially. Is that correct?
When they came out, they told us, come on in here and get warm and have something warm to drink. And
Right.
Were you injured as a result did you get struck by the red vehicle?
no,
Did you see injuries, or do you know if Kathy Schmaling or Kathy Zadarsdek got hit by the red vehicle?
I don't believe so, because Sharon, Kathy, and I were, Kathy Z, were kind of walking in the road trying to see if everyone was being helped.
How about you said Sharon was also looking to see if people were being helped. Did you
Yes.
observe any injuries on Sharon?
No. We were the three more or less and the fourth one was Kathy Schmeling, and she immediately went on the sidewalk, and I think it was a sister or someone was on the sidewalk watching the parade. She quick ran up to Kathy and took Kathy right home.
Kathy's sister, Kathy Schmaling's sister took Kathy Schmaling home?
Yes, because she was crying, standing there on the sidewalk, and she was kind of uncontrollable.
Reasonable.
Okay. So let's go, who were the first people that you saw as you walked out to check on people?
This is hard for her.
Sharon, I seen her.
I'm sorry, of the injured people.
Oh.
Who did you see of the injured people? Approximately where were they and what did you observe?
Okay, I went straight ahead, and it was mainly Tamara.
Rosentreater?
Yes. And then it was Betty String.
Were they both on the ground?
Yes, they were laying in the road.
Did you see, were they
And-
able to move?
Pardon?
Were they able to move?
Not much, because the people were telling them to lay still, because I believe Betty had 2 skull fractures, and they didn't want her to move her head or anything. But yet she was awake, and she could talk.
Okay.
So
How about Tamara Rosentreater?
now she had several broken bones, ribs, arm and wrist, leg. So she had a lot of broken bones, but she too could talk and
Okay.
communicate.
Okay.
How about Lola Hospital?
Lola immediately ran to her husband. He was laying kind of on the sidewalk, because when he was hit, he just went toward the sidewalk. And now he was hurt. He wasn't killed instantly. And she had a blanket for him, and she stayed with him until the ambulance came and took him to the hospital.
Did Bill recover from the injuries sustained by that vehicle?
No, he didn't. He died during surgery.
Did you note any injuries or find out of any injuries to Lola Hospital?
No.
And
Okay, so poor Lola, who's at the front on the left side, runs over to her husband, who's giving ice to the ladies as they're dancing. He's hit and hurt and makes it to the hospital and makes it into surgery. And this just goes to show how trauma works. We can get you to the hospital. We can get you to the hospital with some sort of heartbeat, whether it's me pumping on you or your heartbeat happening on its own. We can get you there. You can get into surgery and the injuries can still be so bad that you don't make it. I don't know if that's even worse, because it gives you some sort of hope that then gets just dashed away. So I don't know how people feel about that. I mean, I know I would always take people in no matter what I thought their chances were. It doesn't matter what I think their chances are, because if I can make it to the hospital, there's a chance. There's something. You know, I can find a devastating injury and know that chance, it gets smaller and smaller, but that doesn't stop me from doing everything and continuing.
Lee, Owen, you said you could not find. Did you find Lee at all that evening?
Yes. Later, the police had me identify her. They had her picture on their phone. And because I asked where Lee was, and they showed me, is this Lee? And it was her. She was thrown on the sidewalk. That's why I didn't see her in the road.
Do you know what side of the sidewalk she was, or what side of the road she was thrown on?
She was on the left.
So as you're marching down Main Street, she was on the left side?
Yes, she was right behind Ginny.
Okay. And the picture that they showed you of Lee, was she alive when they took that picture?
No, she was killed instantly.
And Ginny, did you see Ginny that night?
Ginny was killed instantly also. She was right there on the road.
Again, on the left-hand side?
Yes.
And did you go by Bill Hospital?
Bill was on the right side. He kind of was thrown on the sidewalk.
Did you go by him at all, or?
Yes,
Objection.
I talked to him.
Hold on, there's been an objection.
Oh, I didn't hear him.
It's overruled, and her answer that she gave me.
I didn't even state the objection, but
So what? Nobody cares.
Ma'am, I'm going to show you what's been previously marked and admitted into evidence, which is Exhibit 15. It's going to show up on your screen, okay? Let me know when you see it in front of you. And I'd
Okay.
ask that it be published to the jury as well. It's previously been admitted into evidence.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Ma'am, can you, is this look to be Main Street, the parade route from November 21st of 2021?
objection. Leading the witness.
Sustained as to the form of the question. Please rephrase.
Do you know what Exhibit 15 is?
No, I don't know what this really is.
Okay. Do you see, does it appear to be a map or something else?
Objection.
Pardon?
Leading the witness.
Overruled. She may answer that.
Does it appear to be a map or something else?
Yes, where there's a lot of names and kind of a map.
Okay. Do you see a purple line on that map?
Yeah, with all the purple stars on.
Or I don't know if they're purple stars, but I see some yellow stars, some orange stars.
Yes.
Objection.
Yes.
Leading the witness.
This has previously been marked and admitted into evidence. I think I can direct her attention to these items.
Agreed.
I think
Your
the
objection is noted. It's overruled. This exhibit has previously been received.
stars are the color are pretty obvious what they are.
There's
Okay.
various colors.
Let me just say, as we get older, Darrell, stupid, not you guys stupid, Darrell, stupid, our eyesight, actually, there is a class called gerontology that we take, because one of the things that can happen with people, and you don't even have to be that old. I mean, quite honestly, my eyesight is changing, and I've got readers now too, which I've never had a close-up vision problem ever in my life. And the problem is colors become clouded, the vision becomes cloudy, the peripheral vision, like telescopes in. There's all kinds of things that happen to the vision of elderly people. And one of the things as paramedics that we were taught is if you we actually have a class that we give these people. We give paramedics a class, gerontology, and part of the class is you get these glasses. And one of the glasses is for cataracts, and one of the glasses is for retinal detachment, and it's got the middle all blacked out, and all you can see is around the edge. And then we give them all different colors and shapes of little pills and tell them to try to sort them. And then when they take the glasses off, it's shocking how many you have wrong. So she may not be able to see the yellow stars. So to direct her to the different layers can actually make her look a little more closely. Perhaps she needs a separate set of readers that she doesn't have with her. I don't know. I'm not always, wise enough to put mine
Stars.
on.
And
It's
the
only two
exhibit's
color
been
stars.
received. The jury can determine for itself later on what colors they are and the meaning of them. But go ahead, you may ask your next question of this witness.
And you see the street the long street that's depicted on Exhibit 15. Do you see a name on that street?
Okay,
Do you see it?
yes.
And what is it?
She can't read it.
I see all the stars. I don't know what the question.
Do you see a name on the street on the map?
Can we
Okay.
make it bigger for her?
For
Main-
example, go ahead.
Main Street, Broadway.
So is Main Street the street that you were on when you were marching and your group got hit?
I believe it was.
Okay. Now, if you go to look to the bottom left, there is a box that's labeled Dancing Grannies. Do you
Yes.
see that?
Yes.
And it has 7 names in that box. Are those all part of the Dancing Grannies?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Overruled. She may answer.
Grounds.
She
I
may
may
answer.
answer.
Go ahead.
With the exception of Bill, he was Lola's husband.
Yes. I'm sure he would appreciate that distinction that he was not one of the dancers.
Right.
All those
my
people were
God.
associated with the dancing grannies.
Yes.
And the people in red are the ones that you've testified are deceased as a result of being struck that day. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the other three that are in green are those people who were injured as a result of being struck that day?
Okay, 1, 2. Yes, Lola wasn't really injured. She just was with Bill when he was injured
Okay.
to keep him calm.
Okay. And you see that there's a black line that directs it to a yellow star. Do you see that?
Objection, leading the witness.
Yes.
Overruled, this exhibit has previously been received. It's fair for the state to direct the witness's attention to a particular part. And her answer may stand.
Does that appear to be the location where your group was struck?
Okay, yes.
It does?
It looks like it would be, yes.
Thank you. We can take that off the screen. I'd now like to show Exhibit 55.
Go ahead. I'm assuming just for this.
Yes, just the witness. If we can play it for approximately, first of all, do you see it in front of your screen?
Yes.
Okay. Starting at 00, we're going to play it for approximately 10 seconds, and then I'll ask you some questions about it, okay? Thank you. Does that accurately depict what occurred to your group on November 21st, 2021?
Yes, it does.
I'm going to ask
my
that it be admitted into evidence and published to the jury.
Objection.
It's devastating to my
Overruled.
case.
Grounds.
What's the grounds for the objection?
Relevant. Permission to publish is granted. Exhibit 55 is received.
And Your Honor, this clip is
You know what a double standard he holds for himself and as opposed to everybody else. He wants grounds, but he all he says is objection, like it's supposed to. Oh, okay, never mind. Nobody has to look at the relevant information.
15 seconds long. I would ask that the full clip be played at this time.
Go ahead.
Oh my God, it is them getting hit, which is why they're not showing it to us.
Ma'am, the group that you saw on the right-hand side of the screen, was that the Dancing Grannies?
Yes, it was.
And did you see headlights coming through your group?
No, because it came from the back.
I'm sorry, in the video, did you see headlights
Oh,
coming through?
yes.
Objection, leading the witness.
Yes.
Overruled. She may answer.
And you answered?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And was that the path of travel you recalled seeing the red vehicle take as it went by you on the right and went through your group?
Yes.
I want to show it one more time for the jury so that they can now focus on the headlights on the vehicle.
Objection. Relevancy.
Your objection's noted. It's overruled. Permission to publish once again
Grounds.
is granted.
And Your Honor, the state is going to play it at 50%.
Grounds. Objection. Grounds.
Noted. Overruled.
Grounds.
Relevance.
If you can start,
And-
please.
I request legal reconsideration of your ruling.
Denied.
Grounds of the denial. For the record, may I request a legal or factual basis for your ruling?
He is just interrupting to interrupt. I don't want them to see the evidence of me
Is that a
Right.
legal determination, Your Honor?
running my mother's
Are you making
car
the judicial
over these
determination?
ladies. Oh my
You may
goodness.
continue. Attorney
Ma'am.
Basie.
Did you see the body come forward and fly in front of the truck?
No, me being in
I'm
back.
sorry, in the video, did you see the body
Objection.
flying in front of the
Legal
truck?
witness.
It's not
No.
meeting.
In the video that you just saw, you didn't see a body?
Oh, yeah, on the video, but not.
Right. And do you know who that was?
Yes.
Who was that?
When they had it on TV, that was
No,
the man, right?
I'm sorry. Who was the body that went flying in the street that came towards the front of the screen?
Hold on one second. That last answer, I'm going to, because it was non-responsive, but I'm going to strike it, instruct the jury to disregard it, and then if you could state your question again.
Certainly. If we can go to Exhibit 55 again, to approximately the 10-second mark.
Are you withdrawing that last question then?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you.
Can that be struck? The question?
It's been withdrawn.
Can it be struck from the record?
It's been withdrawn.
May it be struck from the record?
No.
There does not need to be struck. So the request is denied. It's been withdrawn.
May I ask for a legal and factual
Remarks of
basis
the
for
attorneys and questions of the attorneys are not evidence. It's the answers that are evidence, so that's why it's not being struck. You may continue, Attorney Basie.
Thank you. Do you see a body probably in the middle of the screen on the left-hand side
There, she did a good job with that one.
on the ground?
Yes.
Do you know who that is?
Well, it's hard to tell who it's, but that would probably be Ginny.
Okay, thank you.
I think Judge Darrell did a pretty good job with that one. She's trying to strike the question from Attorney Basie, and the fact of the matter is because she withdrew the question because it's not evidence. But why does she have to? Of course, she would have to explain it to me. To be honest with you, but I'm not sure I'd be such a dick about it.
I'm now going to show you just you. It'll be in front of you on the screen, Exhibit 152.
Okay, I'm going to pause it here. Like, subscribe. I just need a break. Thank you so much for hanging in. This is a tough one. I'm gonna pick up with this again tomorrow morning. Maybe back it up a little bit. Bye bye.